Picture this: a land so vast it could fit two Indias, yet only 26 million people call it home. Australia, the sixth largest country in the world, is almost entirely empty. But why is this? Is it the deserts, the deadly wildlife, or something far more complex? Let's dive into the surprising truth behind Australia's emptiness and uncover the secrets of this massive, isolated continent. Hello, friends. Welcome to Career Capsule. My name is Devi. Let's try to understand today's topic. Why is Australia so empty? Australia's vastness can be mind-boggling. It's large enough to fit two Indias, but its population is about the same as just one major Indian city. Over 95% of Australia's land is practically empty, with 85% of Australians living within 50 kilometers of the coast. And when you break it down even further, just 10% of the land supports 90% of the population. That's only 0.0222% of the entire country. The sheer emptiness isn't just about deserts, it's the result of complex geography, a harsh climate, and a long history of isolation. And that's the fascinating story we're about to uncover. Desert myth versus reality. When people think of Australia's emptiness, they usually blame the deserts. And yes, deserts are a big part of the picture. But it's not the full story. After all, deserts exist in many parts of the world, like the Middle East and the American Southwest. Yet people still manage to thrive there. Australia's emptiness is tied to something much deeper, a unique blend of geography, climate patterns, and historical developments. So while deserts are the face of the problem, they're just scratching the surface. Three major geographical zones of Australia. Australia's landscape can be divided into three broad zones. First, the Western Plateau deserts, which cover huge swaths of arid, uninhabitable land. Second, the Central Lowlands. They have water, but it's mostly undrinkable or unsuitable for farming. Finally, the Eastern Highlands, where fertile farmland, forests, and rivers make life sustainable. Unsurprisingly, this is where most Australians live. Understanding these three zones explains why so much of the country remains empty, while cities like Sydney and Melbourne burst with life. Geography shapes life. In Australia, geography isn't just about pretty landscapes. It directly shapes where people can live, grow food, and survive. The deserts are just the beginning. The Central Lowlands' salty, undrinkable water and the limited rain beyond the Eastern Highlands mean that vast areas are simply uninhabitable. Nature quite literally forces the population to cluster in specific coastal pockets. In this way, Australia's geography has been the ultimate architect of its modern society, drawing invisible lines that separate bustling cities from barren wilderness. Australia's vastness and sparse population. Despite being the sixth largest country in the world, Australia's 26 million people mostly live in just five cities: Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth. Cricket fans will recognize these names instantly. When you zoom out, the picture becomes even more striking. It's a land that feels almost untouched outside of these urban centers. Unlike continents like Europe or Asia, where human presence is dense and layered, Australia's population is thinly stretched across vast, mostly empty spaces. It's truly a world of contrasts. Striking examples of isolation. Need proof of just how empty Australia is? Take East Pilbara in Western Australia. It's about the size of Japan, but only 11,000 people live there, half of them packed into a single town. Or consider a pastoral region in South Australia that's the size of France, yet home to fewer than 4,000 people. And then There's Anna Creek Station, a private cattle ranch bigger than Israel, managed by just a handful of employees. These aren't just statistics, they're vivid reminders of Australia's sheer scale and isolation. Not just about dangerous animals. Australia's deadly creatures, snakes, spiders, and crocodiles, are world famous. But believe it or not, they aren't the main reason people avoid the interior. The real culprit is geography, a harsh, dry environment where survival is tough. It's not that kangaroos and scorpions scare settlers away, it's the lack of reliable water, poor soil, and relentless climate conditions. Nature here doesn't just challenge humans with predators, it challenges them at the most basic level, finding food, water, and shelter. Harsh winds and dry climate. Australia's location makes it uniquely vulnerable to cold, dry winds from Antarctica. These winds sap the atmosphere of moisture, leaving large parts of the country incredibly dry. Without moisture, there's little rain. And without rain, you can't farm, build cities, or sustain large populations. Over time, these dry patterns have locked Australia into a cycle where only the edges, where sea breezes occasionally bring rain, are truly habitable. The interior remains stuck in a state of permanent drought. Australia's water challenges, water is Australia's eternal struggle. Even today, reliable water sources are few and far between. Unlike places with regular river systems and abundant rainfall, Australia's rivers are often seasonal and unpredictable. Managing and conserving water has shaped the nation's history. From indigenous strategies thousands of years ago to today's sprawling water infrastructure projects. Water isn't just a resource here. It's the lifeline that determines where people live, how cities grow, and whether farms can survive another dry season. Sea winds and the Great Dividing Range. Imagine trying to push a cloud full of rain across a continent, only to hit a giant wall. That's the effect of Australia's Great Dividing Range. When sea winds bring moisture toward the east coast, the mountains block much of it from traveling inland. As a result, coastal areas like Brisbane and Sydney receive decent rain, while the centre remains parched. It's a dramatic example of how a single geographic feature can shape the destiny of an entire continent's interior. Reliance on the Murray-Darling Basin, Australia's southeast, owes its existence to the Murray-Darling Basin, a vast river system that supports millions of people and countless farms. But even here, the water supply is fragile. The basin's annual flow is just 24,000 gigaliters, tiny compared to rivers like the Amazon or Yangtze. Worse, it's constantly under pressure from drought, overuse, and climate change. Nearly all of Australia's agriculture relies on this one system, making it both a critical asset and a major vulnerability for the country. Climate change. Making it worse, if Australia's natural environment wasn't tough enough already, climate change is raising the stakes. In just the past 20 years, 5 of the hottest years ever recorded in Australia have occurred. Rivers are drying up faster. Farms are failing. Bushfires are becoming larger and more destructive. Australia isn't just fighting old battles with drought and isolation anymore. It's entering a new era where adapting to extreme climate variability will be essential for survival. Hope amidst challenges. Yet, despite the overwhelming challenges, Australia isn't doomed. The country still possesses considerable freshwater resources, innovative water management strategies, and a deep reservoir of scientific knowledge. Initiatives like desalination plants, water recycling, and sustainable farming practices offer hope. If managed wisely, these resources could help Australia not only survive but thrive, turning what once seemed like insurmountable environmental barriers into opportunities for growth and resilience. Australia's isolation and early population. Given Australia's wealth of resources, its tiny population seems like a paradox. In theory, its land and water could support 90 million people. But history had other ideas. For most of its evolutionary past, Australia drifted alone, isolated from other continents. This geographic isolation meant fewer species, fewer humans, and slower technological development. Even when humans did arrive, they remained relatively few in number, a situation that persisted well into the modern era. Ancient isolation. Australia was not always shaped like today's familiar map. Millions of years ago, it was part of the supercontinent Gondwana. As it drifted away, isolation took hold. Over tens of thousands of years, Aboriginal Australians adapted to its unique environments. Rising sea levels cut the continent off completely, reinforcing its biological and cultural uniqueness. Unlike Eurasia or Africa, where civilizations rose and connected across land bridges, Australia developed in profound solitude, shaping everything from its wildlife to its population growth. Early encounters and settlements. When Europeans finally stumbled upon Australia in the 1600s, they found it harsh and alien. Dutch explorers barely touched the continent before sailing away. It was not until 1788 that Britain established its first penal colony at Port Jackson, near modern-day Sydney. The settlers, just 13,000 strong, faced immense challenges adapting to unfamiliar terrain and climate. For centuries afterward, Australia's isolation continued to define its slow and uneven growth compared to other continents. Australia's tiny population in the 18th century. In 1788, as Britain planted its first colony, the global population map looked very different. Asia was home to 650 million people. Europe had 150 million. Even Africa had about 85 million. And yet, the entire population of Australia, indigenous and settlers combined, was just 650,000. The gap is staggering. Australia's story is not one of late discovery. It's one of extreme isolation, where nature and distance kept population numbers low for thousands of years. The gold rush and population growth. Everything changed in 1851 when gold was discovered. Prospectors flooded in, doubling Australia's population almost overnight. Cities like Melbourne boomed, but immigration was tightly controlled. The British government encouraged mostly white Europeans to settle, restricting others. This selective growth built the foundations of modern Australia, but also sowed the seeds of later demographic tensions. The gold rush turned Australia from a forgotten outpost into a land of opportunity. For some, immigration policy and the White Australia policy. By 1901, Australia formalized its racial biases into law with the White Australia policy. It effectively barred non-white immigration for decades, further slowing the country's population growth. This deeply discriminatory policy meant that while the world around Australia diversified and globalized, Australia remained predominantly European, missing out on valuable cultural and economic exchanges until much later in the 20th century. Post-war changes and migration boom. World War II was a wake-up call. After suffering attacks on Darwin and fearing Japanese invasion, Australia realized its vulnerability. With only 7 million people, the government launched massive migration programs, welcoming millions of Europeans. This post-war boom transformed Australia's economy, culture, and demographics. though the White Australia policy sadly lingered until the 1970s. Nonetheless, the seeds of modern, multicultural Australia were firmly planted during these pivotal years. Modern Australia, diversity and growth. When the White Australia policy finally ended, migration patterns shifted dramatically. Today, immigrants from India, China, and Southeast Asia dominate Australia's vibrant, growing communities. About 200,000 new immigrants arrive every year, fueling the economy and enriching cultural life. If trends continue, Australia's population could hit 36 million by 2050. Diversity is no longer a side note. It's central to Australia's identity, reshaping the face of a once insular nation. Australia's new challenges: environment versus growth. But rapid growth brings major challenges. Australia faces a collision between expanding cities and a fragile environment. Droughts, fires, and floods are becoming more frequent. Rivers are shrinking. Wildfires are growing fiercer. Balancing economic prosperity with environmental stewardship will be one of Australia's defining struggles in the 21st century, a test of whether it can grow sustainably without destroying the very land that supports it. Conclusion: resilience in a harsh land. Australia is often defined by its cricket legends and stunning coastlines. But beyond the highlights lies a story of resilience, a vast, unforgiving land that few dare to conquer, yet millions now proudly call home. From ancient isolation to modern innovation, Australia proves that even in the harshest environments, life not only survives, it thrives. The future won't be easy, but if there's one thing Australia's history has taught us, it's that true strength is forged in the toughest conditions. And Australia's spirit, it's just getting started. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Australia's hidden story, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories and surprising facts from around the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.